A future where machines think, create, and even feel better than us. What then happens to our unique purpose, our very reason for being? What if everything we thought made us special was just an algorithm? We're standing at the precipice of a new era, one where artificial intelligence isn't just a tool, but a mirror reflecting profound questions about humanity itself. This isn't just about robots taking jobs. It's about AI challenging the fundamental pillars of what it means to be human. Forcing us to ask, in a world where machines can replicate our intellect, our creativity, and perhaps even our emotions, where does that leave our existential search for meaning? For centuries, philosophers have grappled with the idea of our unique place in the cosmos. But now, a silicon-based contender has entered the arena, and the game is changing. This isn't just a thought experiment. It's a rapidly evolving reality that demands our deepest contemplation. This journey begins not in a lab, but deep within the history of thought, where existentialism first bloomed. Think about the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a time when old certainties, whether from traditional philosophy or established religions, were crumbling. Science was revealing a vast, indifferent universe, and society was grappling with unprecedented change. It was in this swirling confusion that thinkers like Kierkegaard, Nietzsche, and later Sartre and Camus stepped forward. They didn't offer easy answers. Instead, they placed the burden squarely on the individual. Existentialism, at its core, isn't about finding a preordained meaning. It's about creating it. It emphasizes individual freedom, the terrifying realization that we are, as Sartre famously put it, condemned to be free. We are thrown into existence without a preset blueprint, and every choice we make, every action we take, shapes who we are and, in a way, defines humanity itself. With this freedom comes immense responsibility, the weight of knowing that you are the sole author of your life's script. It's about finding purpose in a universe that doesn't inherently offer any, staring into the void and deciding to build something meaningful rather than succumbing to absurdity. The awareness of our mortality, the finite nature of our time here, becomes a powerful motivator, a stark reminder to live authentically and make our brief existence count. It's the ultimate DIY project, designing your own significance in the face of cosmic indifference. Now, fast forward to today. We're not just talking about machines doing repetitive tasks. We're witnessing AI learning, adapting, even generating art, music, and complex scientific hypotheses. It's replicating functions we once considered exclusively human, pushing the boundaries of what intelligence means. Think about AlphaGo beating the world's best Go player, a game of intuition and strategy previously thought beyond machines. Or imagine an AI generating a novel that touches readers' hearts, or composing a symphony that moves them to tears. Or even more startling, AI-powered diagnostic tools outperforming human doctors in identifying complex diseases. These developments challenge the very foundations of human distinctiveness. When these creations, once the hallmark of human genius, can be replicated or even surpassed by algorithms, what then becomes of our unique value? What happens to the distinctiveness of human experience? This isn't a distant sci-fi scenario. It's unfolding before our eyes. And it's profoundly disrupting our traditional sources of existential meaning, making us question the very premise of our unique place in the cognitive hierarchy. The anxiety isn't just philosophical, it's deeply societal and personal. We've seen waves of automation before, but AI threatens not just manual labor, but cognitive and creative roles too. When AI can write better code, analyze data more efficiently, or even conduct therapy with a simulated empathy, entire job sectors could be reshaped or vanish. A 2023 report from Goldman Sachs estimated that generative AI could expose 300 million full-time jobs to automation across major economies. This disruption isn't just economic, it tears at the fabric of our social structures. For many, a significant part of their identity, their sense of purpose and significance, is tied to their work, to their contribution to society. If AI can perform these tasks, often faster and without fatigue, what does that say about human worth? Are we only valuable for our productivity? If our unique contribution is eroded, does our inherent worth diminish? This challenge amplifies existential alienation. We already live in a world that can often feel absurd, where individual efforts sometimes seem insignificant against the backdrop of global issues like climate change or geopolitical strife. Now, add to that the creeping feeling that our intellectual and creative domain is being encroached upon, making us question if there's anything truly unique left. The lines between human and machine are blurring, not just in science fiction, but in our daily lives, as AI-powered tools become extensions of our minds, or perhaps replacements. This isn't just an intellectual exercise, it's a visceral anxiety that gnaws at our sense of self, leaving us feeling less distinct, less important, and perhaps less human in a world increasingly dominated by the digital. But here's where the story takes a turn. This age of AI, unsettling as it is, might not be the end of human meaning, but rather a powerful catalyst for its evolution. It forces existentialism to grow, to adapt, and to ask deeper, more nuanced questions. This isn't a threat to human meaning. It's an opportunity for a profound re-evaluation of what truly matters. What makes us us? It's a chance to stop taking our humanity for granted and instead actively define its contours in a new, technologically advanced landscape. Perhaps we've been looking for human value in the wrong places. For too long, we've defined ourselves by our intellectual superiority, our technological prowess, our ability to dominate and create. But what if our true value lies elsewhere? What if it resides not in our capacity to outcompute a machine, but in our unique capacity for empathy? An AI can process 1 million data points about human emotions, predict our reactions, and even generate incredibly convincing emotional responses. But can it truly feel the pang of loss, the warmth of connection, the irrational joy of a shared laugh, or the gut-wrenching experience of moral dilemma? This is where the human spirit might truly shine, in our messy, complex, often illogical, but deeply profound emotional landscape. Think about love, for instance. Can an AI truly love? It can simulate affection, predict romantic compatibility, even write poetry that sounds like it comes from a heartbroken soul. But love, in its human form, involves vulnerability, risk, commitment, and a deep, often irrational connection that transcends logic and data. It's about choosing to care for another even when it's inconvenient, even when it hurts. It's about building relationships, fostering community, and experiencing the raw, unfiltered spectrum of human connection. These are the domains where machines, no matter how advanced, currently fall short. They might mimic, but they do not experience in the same conscious, embodied way. This leads us to reconsider our vulnerabilities. Instead of seeing our imperfections as weaknesses to be overcome, perhaps they are part of our strength, our distinct signature. Our finitude, our awareness of death, which existentialists like Heidegger spoke of as a driving force for authentic living, remains uniquely ours. AI doesn't die in the human sense. It can be deactivated or upgraded. But it doesn't face the ultimate cessation of self that makes every human moment precious, every relationship finite, every choice weighted with consequence. Embracing our vulnerability, our emotional depth, our capacity for genuine connection, these become new pathways to meaning. The challenge, then, is not to try and beat AI at its own game, because we might lose. The challenge is to define a new game, one where human qualities, often overlooked in our pursuit of efficiency and technological advancement, take center stage. It's about understanding that our meaning isn't derived from outperforming machines in logic or data processing, but from embracing what makes us fundamentally different. Our capacity for subjective experience, for consciousness, for the intricate tapestry of emotions that define our every waking moment. It's about actively choosing to create a meaningful life, not despite machine progress, but alongside it, by valuing what is uniquely human. This is where we carve out our new niche, our new source of existential purpose. Ultimately, this age of AI forces a critical reevaluation of human values. It pushes us to confront the age-old question, what truly makes us human? The blurred boundaries between humans and our creations are not a sign of our obsolescence, but a call to deepen our understanding of ourselves. The meaning of life, it turns out, is not found in a futile race to surpass AI in every domain. It's found in understanding ourselves better, in cherishing our unique capacities, and in striving for a more humane future where technology serves our humanity rather than defining it. It means shifting our focus from what we can do to who we are and how we connect. It's about finding profound purpose in the very things that make us vulnerable, irrational, and undeniably wonderfully human. The challenge isn't to compete with machines, but to cultivate our humanity, to deepen our capacity for love, for empathy, for creativity that springs from the well of human experience, rather than pure algorithm. To find meaning in our shared stories, our collective struggles, our individual joys and sorrows. It's about recognizing that while AI can simulate, it cannot be. It can analyze, but it cannot feel in the same way we do. It can learn, but it doesn't suffer in the existential sense. This understanding, this renewed appreciation for our own messy, beautiful existence, is the ultimate pathway to meaning in an age where the definition of unique is constantly being rewritten. This reevaluation isn't about rejecting technology. It's about recentering humanity. It's about consciously building a world where our inherent worth is not contingent on our economic output or intellectual supremacy over machines, but on our capacity for connection, for compassion, for creating beauty and meaning in ways only conscious mortal beings can. It's about a future where we leverage AI to free us from drudgery, to expand our knowledge, yes, but ultimately to give us more space and time to be truly human. To explore the depths of our own consciousness, to forge deeper bonds with each other, and to grapple with the grand questions of existence not as a threat, but as an ongoing, uniquely human adventure. The question isn't whether AI will take our jobs, but whether we will let it take our meaning. The answer lies in us, in our capacity to define value, not by what we can automate, but by what we choose to elevate as profoundly, exclusively human. To truly delve deeper into this unfolding saga of humanity and technology, make sure to watch our next video, where we'll explore the ethical dilemmas of AI consciousness.